Hello and welcome. Brett here with clickmill.co. In this video, we are going to talk about the mental model of inversion. Now, this mental model, I don't know where it came from exactly. I believe Einstein used this mental model, as well as Charlie Munger and Warren Buffett over at Berkshire Hathaway. And so, I mean, when you look at people's fruit in their life, this is something that is very effective. Now, how does this work? When we want a positive outcome, and we want the hard thing, okay, growth or success financially, or the best family life, or the biggest, baddest in ministry, equipping all the people in the world, whatever it is, you know, the question isn't how do we get the best thing? How do I become, and again, finances is always the easiest way to go. It's like, how do I make a really great profit? How do I succeed in business? Well, that's the wrong question. That's the hard thing. Again, what we have to do first is to sustain. So what do we actually ask ourselves? It's the flip side of the question. And it's, if I want to succeed, the actual question when we invert that upside down is, how do I not fail? Because that is where the majority lose it, right? They're chasing success, but they're doing a whole bunch of things that are failure, that help that, what do you want to say, lead the probability of failure to be much higher. Okay, so let's just say if I want to be have abundant finances, how would I not go bankrupt? That'd be a great question. Okay, so that's inversion. How would I not go bankrupt? Well, don't do hard drugs. Don't get a divorce. That'd be a great one. Don't play the lottery. Don't gamble. Don't develop some kind of drinking habit. Alcohol is extraordinarily expensive. Out here in Hawaii, fireworks are the biggest thing. I mean, the average household spends like $10,000 a year on fireworks. Don't do that. Don't blow up your money. Don't put your money in things that lose value. Let's say like cash. That's not the best place to hold your money because why? Inflation increases and eats away at the purchasing power of your cash every year. And in recent years, you're talking 5, 10, 15%. You're losing the purchasing power every year. You can't make that up if you're just slowly getting raises. Don't keep it in cash. Keep it in something that actually holds its value. So how do we not lose all of our money and go bankrupt? Well, those are relatively simple things. Now, how do you make a ton of money? That's a totally different question. But if you can just hit that minimum point where you're not bottoming out, you're going to increase your likelihood in the probability of having a positive, fruitful outcome tremendously. And that's what a lot of people overlook. If you want to have a successful ministry, the question isn't how do we have the best ministry ever? It's how do we not have the worst ministry that nobody wants to come to? And what would you do? You would go ask the people, what do you not want in a ministry? What do you really dislike about ministries you've been at? Go look at the whole list, get 100 people, get 1,000 people to tell you things they really dislike about Christian ministries. And short of being unfaithful to scripture, don't do all those things. And what? Everybody's gonna be like, hey, that ministry is pretty good. Let's go there. Now, can you make it great? Sure. But it would be really awesome if people started by just not liking your ministry. Same thing in business. I want to have a super successful business. All right, well, what can you do to not have a failure business? Okay, so that's inversion. Another one that we could apply is to our spiritual life with Christ. I want to show up in heaven, and I want to be the kind of person that is close with God. I already know him. He's my best friend, and I walk in, and the life that I've built is built with gold, stone, and precious metals. When we're talking about, what is that? I'm probably way off here, 2 Corinthians or anyway, Paul's talking about he lays the foundation that's Christ, and we build our life with the things we do. And the things that we do, our works will be tested with fire. If we build with wood, hay, or straw, it will be destroyed. If we build with gold, stone, and precious metals, it's coming in with us. And there's some kind of a reward. If you want to be the person who's like, hey, you gave me 3 talents, you gave me 5 talents, here's 5 more. I want to be the kind of person who's like, here's 100 more. Some will produce 160 or 30 times what was sown. I want to be that person. Well, how do I be that person? Well, the question for starters is, how do I not be the person that shows up with a house made of wood, hay, or straw that is just going to get burnt down? Okay. Well, I should consider, maybe I should consider God in my decisions. I should try to basically arrange my life with godly priorities. First God, then wife, then kids, then everything else. And so we invert to avoid the massive failure. And as long as you avoid the massive failure, you are set up for the growth. And that's where we have to be first. First, we have to sustain, then we grow. And so with that, this is the idea of inversion. If you have questions or if you have thoughts, put them in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I hope this is encouraging to you in your Christian faith. And I look forward to seeing you in the very next video. God bless.